Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. One of Hanover's most wanted captured after 8 years on the run. One of Hanover's most wanted is now in police custody after 8 years on the run. The 53-year-old man Eric Clark, commonly called Legacy, was wanted for murder, which was committed in the rural community of Cash Hill, Patty Hill in the parish. Since the 2014 incident, he has been on the parish most wanted list. Despite living in the same era, Clark managed to elude the police on numerous occasions. Head of the Hanover Police Division, Superintendent Sharon B. told reporters that Clark was held by the Hanover Police in a snap raid in Cash Hill, Patty Hill. The senior officer said the community can now breathe a sigh of relief as information gathered had indicated that the man was a threat to women in the area. So that was how far it reached, so I am happy that we were able to capture him, the senior officer added. Superintendent B. commended the men and women under her command for what she said was outstanding work. It has been a long while since that man has been wanted, so the fact that we're able to capture him is commendable for the team, and we just encourage them to carry out the hard work continuously, especially as we go through this festive season, stated Superintendent B. Chef gets life for killing teen. A St. Andrew man who shot and killed a high school student who he was having a relationship with have to spend over 20 years in prison for the crime. Amar Fairweather, 31, was sentenced to life imprisonment and ordered to serve 23 years in prison before he is eligible for parole. Fairweather, a chef, was also sentenced to 10 years in prison for illegal possession of firearm and 7 years for illegal possession of ammunition. The sentences were imposed by Justice Bennett Graham Allen in the Home Circuit Court. The charges stem from the shooting death of Jose Martin Technical High School student Dennis Hume, 15, 4 days before Christmas in 2017. Fairweather pleaded guilty to the charges in October. Prosecutor Andrea Martin Swaby led evidence in court that Hume was killed after she sent Fairweather a text message ending their relationship. According to the evidence, Hume was at her Seaview Garden St. Andrew home with other family members on December 21, preparing for Christmas. Fairweather entered the yard and was seen going inside the room with a pistol. Shortly after, a loud explosion was heard coming from the room. When relatives rushed into the room, the 15-year-old was seen on the ground with blood running from her head, and Fairweather was standing over her with a gun in his hand. Fairweather was asked why he killed her and responded, "I no me kill her, she a idiot, as she kill herself." He was then asked if she was dead, and he replied, "She must dead." The accused then retrieved a spent casing, put it in his pocket, and fled the area. Man stabbed to death in Spanish Town, girlfriend in police custody. A woman is now in police custody following a domestic dispute in which a knife was allegedly used to kill her partner in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Tuesday morning. The deceased has been identified as Tarsha Samudo of Carlet Road in the parish. It has been reported that about 5:30 a.m., the suspect and Samudo were at home along Carlet Road when a disagreement developed between them. A knife was reportedly brought into play, and during a physical tussle, Samuda was stabbed. He subsequently died from the injuries he received. The suspect later turned herself in to the Spanish Town police. Carpenter shot and killed in St. Catherine. The St. Catherine North Police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the murder of a carpenter in the division on Tuesday morning. The police have identified the deceased as Rashane Stewart, 25, of Rockford, St. Andrew. Residents reported they heard explosions about 6:30 a.m. along Friendship Road, Fraser's Content, St. Catherine. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, checks revealed that Stewart was shot on the head. No motive has been established in the murder of Stewart. U.S. national fined $30,000 for ammunition. A U.S. national was arrested at the Sangsters International Airport and later charged for firearms-related offenses. This person was fined $30,000 or 30 days in prison when he appeared in the Western Regional Gun Course on December 13. He is 27-year-old Arden Caton, an electrical linesman of Mount Holly, New California in the United States. Reports are that about 1:56 p.m., Caton was going through the security checkpoint at the airport when his knapsack was scanned and audits were detected. The police were alerted and the bag was searched. 2 9mm cartridges were found. Caton was arrested and charged with illegal possession of ammunition. Exotic dancer acquitted of murder. An exotic dancer who was implicated in the stabbing death of a man in Portland in May was yesterday acquitted of murder. Kamoya McIntosh was freed in the Portland Parish Court after the judge upheld a no-case submission from her attorney-at-law, John Jacobs. The woman was charged with the May 2022 murder of Colin Coulson, otherwise called Gamazone, a 33-year-old mechanic of land settlement in Port Antonio. Colin was found lying on his back in a pool of blood in a hotel parking lot on Evelyn Park Road in Port Antonio with stab wound to his chest. Following the incident, McIntosh was arrested and charged. She, however, gave a caution statement in which she explained that she went to rescue Colin's girlfriend, who was being attacked by him, when he turned on her and started choking her. During the incident, McIntosh said the man pulled a knife and she tried to take it away and a tussle ensued. Sometime after, when they separated, McIntosh said Colin walked away with his girlfriend, and while he was walking away, she noticed blood on his shirt. She said she shouted out, "Jesus, me never mean it." Her lawyer during the no-case submission maintained that Colin was killed in self-defense and that his client did not harbor any serious intent to kill or injure him, as there was no excessive force or multiple injuries. Jacobs further argued that Colin was the aggressor and that it was his knife that was used to inflict a single wound to his chest. Based on the statements that were being relied on in the matter, Jacobs further posited that there was no evidence to negate self-defense. Additionally, he said the Crown had not proven that his client has unlawfully killed the victim. The judge in the end accepted the Crown had failed to establish a prima facie case of murder against McIntosh. Attorney-at-law Courtney Rowe also represented McIntosh. Vybz Kartel juror found guilty of perverting the course of justice. Livingston Kane, the juror in the Vybz Kartel murder trial who offered the jury foreman $500,000 to get a not guilty verdict in the 2014 case, was yesterday found guilty of perverting the court of justice. Kane's bail was revoked for sentencing on March 2nd next year, following the verdict in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court. Parish Judge Maxine Ellis found Kane guilty on one count of perverting the course of justice, but not guilty on 3 other counts. One count was also withdrawn by the Crown. The Crown led evidence that Kane perverted the court of justice on March 13 by offering the jury foreman the money to influence other jurors to agree to a not guilty verdict. Prosecutors had alleged that one day before the verdict in Kartel's trial, Kane met with the jury foreman in the Supreme Court library and told her he realized that she had some influence on other members of the panel before making the offer. They further alleged that he approached 2 other jurors and tried to convince them to find the entertainer not guilty. Kane allegedly told a female juror that he would take care of her as long as you say what me say. He alleged they tried to persuade her to return a not guilty verdict, noting that the accused men were promising entertainers and should be released. He is also alleged to have approached a male juror twice. In one instance, he reportedly told him, "These guys are prominent entertainers, so we can't send them to jail." And in the second instance, he allegedly said, "We have to acquit these men. These are prominent entertainers and young men with a bright future." Kane was charged with 3 counts of perverting the court of justice based on the allegations surrounding the 2 jurors. Both the judge found the prosecution had not given its case on those counts. In the meantime, King's counsel Valenita Robertson, who is representing the Kane, had indicated that she will be appealing his conviction. Attorney-at-law Kimberly Whitaker is also representing Kane. Kartel, whose real name is Adijah Palmer, Sean Storm, given name Sean Campbell, Carrie Jones, and Andrew St. John's were convicted for the August 2011 killing of Clive Lizard Williams at a house in Havendale, St. Andrew, and were all sentenced to life imprisonment in April 2014. Kartel was ordered to serve 35 years in prison before becoming eligible for parole, while the others were ordered to serve 25 years before parole considerations. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.